Hello. How you guys doing today? Very quick video because I have a lot of stuff I need to be doing right now. But before I forget, um, one thing that we are all familiar with is the question why. If you have kids, you know what that question is, and because you hear it all the time, right? Kids are really good at asking why. Why is a wonderful question, and especially in learning and development. People want to know, why are we doing this? Not just learning and development, okay? Whatever you have in your house, in your church, on your team, whatever. Why do we have to do it this way? Why are we doing this? So, in the course that we're creating, me and my partner, I ask why a lot because I'm not a cyber person. Like, that's not the work that I do. So when we're creating things and we're doing stuff, I want to know why. So in particular, I'm still right now learning how to use Linux, which is a command line. Okay. When we first started doing it, I wanted to know why. Like, why do I have to know this? Okay. And the answer was, what was the answer was something like, because it's important for cyber professionals, which is true, because I looked that up myself. Like, I see that that's something important for cyber professionals to learn, but that wasn't answering my question. Okay, that was not answering my question. Now let me tell you about why. Why, when you ask why, what you're also asking, how. Why and how are the same question. Okay, why is just a very abstract, like very abstract up here. Okay. Very abstract how. So when I ask why do I have to do Linux, I'm also asking how do I do Linux? Okay. So there, it's twofold there. We're going to get to the how, but let me tell you about this. Okay. Now let me help you see that. So up here on this, my other screen, I have pulled up something. So I got some training in value engineering, which is really valuable. Value engineering is very, very valuable. But in value engineering, they have a tool called a FAST diagram. I don't know what FAST stands for. It's an acronym, and I'm not going to look it up right now, but I'll let you know later. So it's a diagram of why and how. So if you think about a pencil, okay, if somebody asks, why do I have to use a pencil? Okay, why do I use a pencil? The why you use a pencil would be something like, okay, to maintain information. This thing, it's here, we want to be able to, instead of me telling you this thing, orally, let's write it down. Okay, we're going to use a pencil to write it down to maintain information. That's why you use a pencil. All right, now let me show you how you get from that to the how. Okay, so then you say, okay, how do I maintain information? You record it. Before you can maintain it, you have to record it. Okay, so you record information. How do I record information? You make marks. Okay, you make marks on a piece of paper or whatever you have to record information. How do I make marks? It deposits you deposit the medium, right, which is lead. Make marks by depositing the lead. That's in the pencil. You see how we're getting to the how? How do I deposit information? Deposit the medium, which is the lead. You apply pressure. You think about using a pencil. You apply pressure to deposit the lead. Okay. How do I apply pressure? By transmitting force. You have to force. You see how this is going? How do I transmit force? By gripping the pencil. You have to grip the pencil. How do I grip the pencil? You hold it with your hand. You hold. So you see how now, if you go back to the why. So now we're at the how. We're at a very, very concrete how. Hold pencil. Okay, that's where we are. Now, if you go back that same path we just moved, you hold the pencil to accommodate a grip, to transmit force, to apply pressure, to deposit the lead, to make the mark, to record information, and you maintain information. You see how that the why is here and the how is, it's the same thing. I'm telling you. Why is just a why is a very abstract how. All right. So now that we have that in our heads, okay, now I see, okay, oh, I see why I need to use a pencil. And I also see how I need to do that. So for the example that I had here, I want to talk about, I'm really proud of this, and we're going to have to talk about this in other places, but the way that we came up for our Linux exercise is just awesome. Okay. So I was like, why do I have to do this? And I know I get on his nerves because I say why a lot, and I just keep going, why, I don't understand why. But the why that I was getting to was, I know you all have heard of the WIFM, the what's in it for me. When we ask why, I'm not speaking abstract. I'm saying, why does Cheryl have to know this? Okay, that's what I'm saying. And when everybody else says why, they're going to be like, why do we have to learn Linux? We had to find a common answer because people are in courses and training and learning for different reasons. They just are. Okay. And we write learning objectives and stuff, and like, that's fine for whatever. But people are there for their own reasons. Okay. So what we did was, when I asked why, I wasn't looking for because cyber professionals need to know it. Okay. You won't find that on that's not here. Okay. I was looking for I was looking for a deeper why. Like, and the deeper why is so you can see. Okay. That was the answer that we finally got to. All right. I need to know command line so I can see. Okay. Because if you're familiar with cyber and stuff like that, or your command lines, they're in the dark, right? It's like, because you can't see on a regular computer screen, you can see where your files are. You can use your mouse and go to wherever you want. You can click on stuff and do all that. You can't do that in a command line. Okay. You have to use, what do you call it? Code or something, scripts, something like that, to do all that stuff that you do really easily, because you can see on a screen, your computer screen, you can see everything. Okay. You can't see, you are literally in the dark. Okay. When you're in a command line. So the why was so you can see. All right. So how do I see? Okay. And then we get to now, and that's what I'm learning now. Now I'm learning, how do I see now in the dark? How do I see in the dark? So that's what I'm learning. When you're learning Linux and command prompt and PowerShell and stuff, you're learning how to see in the dark is what you're doing. Okay. And how to speak to your computer. Okay. So why is really important. If you're home, your kids are asking mommy why, or daddy, why does the moon follow me when we're in the car? Okay. Now that answer, we can give some little abstract answer, but the real answer for that is a very, very concrete how. Now, to really answer a why question, you, the person who's being asked, have to know some stuff. Okay. And what we tend to do, especially as parents, when kids ask us why, we go to because I said so. Don't we? I know I've used it. But when it comes to L&D, learning and development, because I said so ain't gonna work. Okay. Especially if you want this person to be able to do things on their own. One thing that I try to do with my boys, now kids are going to be kids. They do what they do. But one thing that I want to do is, I don't want my boys to do things because I said so. Okay. They need to be able to see. They need to be able to see the reason why it's beneficial for them to do a certain thing. Okay. So then, so they understand on their own. They create their own narrative as to why I need to do this. Okay. I will never ask in a class again, why do I need to use Linux? Because now I see, oh, that's why I have to do it. And I don't like rooting around in the dark. Imagine being in a dark room with a whole bunch of stuff in the room. cases on the floor, puddles of water, gasoline cans, whatever. The room is completely dark. Who would want to be there rooting around, not knowing where you are, who's in the, you don't have, what's that movie with the dude with the clown face or something? He be cutting people body parts off. What the hell is that movie called? That show. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He gives riddles and people have to figure them out or something, right? So the last one that I saw, because I haven't seen all of them, but the last one, like he turned out the light and the guy was in that room all by himself and that lady in the tub. I think she was in the tub or on the floor. Somebody wasn't alive in there. It was crazy. It was scary. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's scary. Okay. Being in a dark room, not knowing what or who is in there with you. Anybody in that situation would want to see. Okay. So now that I understand, now because I asked why, and I got a why, I got the answer. Now I see that everything I do in command line is so that I can see. And once I see, now I'm comfortable. I know where to go. I know who else is there. I know what steps I need to take because I can see. Okay. Why is very important. It's an important question to ask because sometimes we don't want to ask for some reason. We're just embarrassed or whatever. I don't know, whatever the case is. Okay. We don't want to ask. But when you do ask, now you know what you're asking. Okay. Why is a very, very abstract how. They come together. When you ask why, they're coming here together. Okay. So eventually, if you want to, you can find out the how. You can find out the how as well. But that takes a lot more work. It does. You can't be lazy when you're trying to find out how something happens. All right. So that's my L&D, learning and development word for today. Okay. Thank y'all for listening, and I'll see you later. Bye.